Have you ever been in a situation where you felt overlooked or unimportant to others? Have there been times when you excelled at a task, came up with an outstanding idea, or significantly contributed to others, yet received no acknowledgement? It's challenging to handle such situations. Despite acting correctly, prioritizing the collective good, and being available to others, sometimes your efforts and worth may go unrecognized or even ignored. Persisting in trying to please unappreciative people can lead to discouragement. It's a difficult situation to reverse, and it feels worse when those involved are close to you, like family, friends, or a partner. Stoic philosophy advises against expecting recognition from others, as it's not within our control and might not occur. Hence, waiting for it can lead to frustration. However, what if there were ways to become more valued and a priority in someone's life? Indeed, by understanding and implementing certain strategies, you can become more appreciated. These steps can help you maintain a high position in someone's life. Now that the problem is clear, let's transform your approach by exploring these solutions. Before we start, please support us by liking this video to promote Stoic philosophy. If you're not subscribed, consider subscribing and turning on notifications to stay updated on future videos. Step number 1. Instill the fear of loss. This is a potent psychological strategy to be seen as a priority. People are often more driven by the fear of losing something than by the potential of gaining. To be viewed as a priority, you need to make them fear losing you. Begin by emotionally distancing yourself, sharing less of your thoughts and feelings, and diversifying your time with others. This approach can effectively make them realize your importance and fear losing you in their life. However, it's crucial to exercise this approach with caution. If you distance yourself excessively, the other person might stop trying to reconnect. This technique requires wise and balanced application. Consider the case of Mike, an employee who devoted much effort to his job but never let it define his self-worth. He always kept in mind the transient nature of everything, including his employment. When he learned his company was downsizing and his job was at risk, he didn't panic. Instead, he applied Stoic principles, assessing the situation calmly. He acknowledged his consistent efforts and the value he brought to his work. Aware that job loss was possible but wouldn't affect his intrinsic worth, he continued to seek other opportunities and remained adaptable to change. In this situation, Stoic philosophy enabled him to stay composed and prepared for life's uncertainties without succumbing to fear or anxiety about potential job loss. This illustrates how Stoic principles can aid in objectively evaluating loss and maintaining equilibrium in any situation. Step number 2. Limit your availability. The principle of quality over quantity applies to relationships too. To become a priority in someone's life, it might be necessary to be less accessible. The more you are available, the more likely you are to be taken for granted. This doesn't mean you should only be accessible when it's convenient for you, but if you're always adjusting to others' needs, it's time to focus on yourself. Conveying that you have a life outside of them and that you're not merely waiting around will make them appreciate your time more. Take the story of David, who was always there to support his friends, regardless of the time or situation. He prioritized their needs, often sacrificing his own time and energy. Over time, however, David felt drained and noticed his friends began to expect his constant availability, diminishing their appreciation for him. Realizing he was always there but not valued, David decided to embrace Stoic philosophy, specifically the concept of premeditatio malorum. He began managing his time more effectively, setting boundaries on his availability, and prioritizing his own needs. This didn't mean he stopped helping his friends, but he balanced his support with self-care. However, David assisted only when he genuinely had the time and the right mindset, instead of always being immediately available. Consequently, his friends began to recognize the value of his presence and assistance, realizing they should cherish it. They understood David had his own life and wasn't entirely reliant on them. This led to a more balanced relationship, enhancing everyone's happiness. Step number 3. Cultivate a sense of mystery. People are often drawn to what is enigmatic and unknown. The allure of mystery can be captivating and can deepen connections. In relationships, maintaining a bit of mystery can be beneficial if you wish to be considered a priority. Instead of revealing everything about yourself at once, share bits and pieces about your interests and hobbies without giving away too much. Answer questions with some ambiguity, and avoid going into extensive detail about your past. The aim is to keep the other person curious and looking forward to learning more about you. Over time, this will make them view you as a priority. Consider Alex's story. He had a stable life but felt something mysterious and exciting was missing. One day, while reflecting at the beach, he decided to seek adventure. Leaving his routine life behind, Alex embarked on a journey with just a backpack, a map, and a plane ticket to an unknown destination. He traveled to new places, met different people, and experienced various adventures. Through these experiences, he found mystery and excitement in simple things like conversations with locals, appreciating natural beauty, and exploring diverse cultures. After months of traveling, Alex not only discovered the excitement he sought but also gained deeper self-awareness, confidence, and appreciation for life. His story demonstrates that the pursuit of mystery and excitement can be a journey of both physical exploration and self-discovery, understanding the deeper essence of life. Step number 4, encourage their investment in you. This is a nuanced step that must be carefully managed. It's important not to push people away, but rather to encourage them to invest in you and the relationship. But I'm currently swamped with work and family commitments. It's important for me to dedicate time to our meeting without any distractions. Can we reschedule for a time when I can fully engage and be present? By doing this, you not only show respect for Jane's time but also emphasize the value of your own. This approach signals that you are not readily available and that your time is precious, requiring effort and consideration to be part of it. This strategy can make Jane see you as a priority, as she recognizes the need to invest in your time together. Remember, it's essential to apply this method judiciously. Overdoing it might lead to unintended consequences. By handling the situation this way, you demonstrate to Jane that while you value your relationship, you also have other important commitments. This balance communicates that your time is important and encourages Jane to see your meetings as special opportunities that require mutual effort and planning. It subtly shifts the dynamic, making your time together more valued and anticipated. Instead, it meant that he understood the importance of self-care and balance. By doing this, Marco communicated to others that he valued his own time and well-being. This shift in behavior created a dynamic where others began to recognize and respect his needs and priorities. It's important to make time for yourself, to engage in activities that rejuvenate and fulfill you. When Marco started to prioritize his needs, he found himself more energized and effective in helping others. This change not only improved his quality of life but also positively influenced how others perceived and interacted with him. They began to appreciate his contributions more and saw him as a priority in their lives. Marco's story illustrates the crucial lesson that taking care of oneself is not an act of selfishness, rather, it's a necessary step to being a well-balanced and respected individual in both personal and professional relationships. But he learned to navigate them by focusing on his own actions and responses. This principle can be applied to the practice of not always initiating communication. Marcus Aurelius believed in the power of self-reflection and understanding one's role in the dynamics of life and relationships. By not always being the one to reach out, you allow the other person the opportunity to demonstrate their interest and commitment. This approach can lead to a more balanced and mutually respectful relationship. In the context of making someone a priority in your life, it's essential to remember that a healthy relationship involves efforts from both sides. If you're always the initiator, it can create an imbalance. Pausing your efforts and allowing the other person to initiate contact can be revealing. It shows whether they value and miss your presence in their lives. If they do care, they will likely reach out, realizing the importance of your role in their life. This shift can help establish a more balanced dynamic where both parties are equally invested in maintaining the relationship. Step 7. Hold back on always initiating communication. If you frequently find yourself being the first to reach out to someone, consider stepping back. This might feel counterintuitive, especially if you're trying to become a priority in their life, but the reality is that constantly initiating communication can lead to being taken for granted. They might get accustomed to your efforts, consequently diminishing your perceived importance. Instead, take a break from initiating contact and observe the outcome. If the other person values and cares about you, they will make an effort to connect. This step is a way to gauge the mutual interest and respect in the relationship, creating a more equal and reciprocal dynamic. But also became more attractive and important to those around him. As he cultivated his own happiness, people started to see him in a new light. They recognized his self-assuredness and balance, and were drawn to his positive energy. This shift in perspective made Alex a priority in the lives of others, not because he actively sought their attention, but because he focused on enriching his own life. This transformation aligns with the Stoic belief in the importance of self-sufficiency in happiness. By not depending on others for his emotional well-being, Alex demonstrated the power of self-contentment. His story is a testament to the idea that when you create your own happiness, you naturally become more appealing and important to others. You attract people not because you need them to be happy, but because your happiness is infectious and inviting. Step 8. Cultivate your own happiness. To be a priority in someone's life, it's crucial to find happiness within yourself, rather than relying on them for your emotional fulfillment. This doesn't mean isolation or not enjoying relationships, but rather understanding that your happiness shouldn't be contingent on others. By focusing on your own interests, skills, and life balance, you not only enhance your well-being but also become a more appealing presence to others. When you are content and self-sufficient, it naturally draws people towards you, making you a priority because of the positive qualities you embody. But rather letting go of the need to control situations and outcomes beyond one's influence. By focusing on his own actions and attitudes, John demonstrated a key aspect of Stoic philosophy, the importance of concentrating on what is within our control. This approach not only helped him maintain his own peace of mind but also positively influenced the situation with his colleague. Step 9. Be prepared to walk away. This principle may seem daunting, especially when it involves someone you care about. However, being willing to walk away is a powerful stance. It communicates that you have self-respect and won't settle for less than you deserve. This doesn't mean giving up at the first sign of difficulty, but understanding when a situation or relationship is no longer beneficial or respectful to you. In Stoic philosophy, the concept of being ready to abandon relates to releasing things outside our control and not expending unnecessary energy on them. By focusing on what we can control, our actions, attitudes, and responses, we stay aligned with our values and maintain our well-being, regardless of external circumstances. This principle is about finding strength in autonomy and understanding that sometimes the healthiest choice is to step back or move on. We have all encountered moments where we feel neglected or not considered a priority. However, it's crucial to realize that our individual journeys and values are unique, and not always aligned with others' priorities. Rather than allowing these instances to undermine our self-esteem, they can serve as catalysts for personal growth. The key is to prioritize ourselves, nurture our happiness and well-being. Over time, this approach will lead others to recognize and value us more. Remember, even if others do not place you at the top of their list, it's within your power and right to prioritize yourself. This isn't an act of selfishness, it's an expression of self-respect and self-determination. By adopting this mindset, we can cultivate healthier relationships, make decisions that align with our goals, and lead more fulfilling lives. In your journey to becoming a priority, consider which steps resonate most with you and how you can integrate these lessons into your life. Share your thoughts, aspirations, and experiences of self-discovery in the comments below. Let's inspire and learn from each other in this philosophical journey. I hope you found value in this article and thank you for your time. Until next time, let's continue to explore and grow together.